Hello friends, welcome to our channel Cbse English, the topper's choice. In today's video, we are going to discuss class 10th second lesson, Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. At the beginning, we'll talk about the author of this lesson. Nelson Mandela himself is the author of this lesson. Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela was born on 18th July 1918 and died on 5th December 2013. He was a South African anti-apartheid revolutionary, political leader and philanthropist who served as President of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. He was the country's first black head of state and the first elected in a fully representative democratic election. His government focused on dismantling the legacy of apartheid by tackling institutionalized racism and fostering racial reconciliation. Ideologically, an African nationalist and socialist, he served as the president of the African National Congress, that is ANC party, from 1991 to 1997. Theme of this lesson: the lesson pays tribute to those black heroes and patriots who waged a relentless struggle against the apartheid or the racist regime of South Africa. Here we find a description of the inauguration ceremony held in the Union buildings attended by politicians and dignitaries from more than 140 countries. Nelson Mandela gives a message of peace and unity of mankind. He foresees a new regime which will be based on the equality of men and women. He hopes that in the new regime there will be no exploitation of man by man. There will be no room for racialism and segregation in the new order. Introduction to this lesson. Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom is an autobiography of Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. He was the first black South African president, an anti-apartheid revolutionary and political leader who served the country from 1994 to 1999. This lesson is the extracts from his autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom. It includes the description of the inauguration ceremony and citations from his speech and about his journey to being a freedom fighter. It says about the other countless people who fought for their freedom. In South Africa, a brutal practice named apartheid was very popular in those days. It referred to the discrimination between people on the basis of their race and color. It was one of the most brutal societies in which dark-skinned people were deprived of their basic rights. This lesson gives us an overview of the struggles of Mandela for making the society with no discrimination on the basis of their color, caste, race, age, or gender. Summary of this lesson. Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom is an extract from the autobiography of Nelson Mandela that describes the struggle for freedom of black people in South Africa. On 10th May 1994, Nelson Mandela took the oath as South Africa's first black president after more than 3 centuries of white rule. His party had won 252 out of the 400 seats in the first democratic elections in the history of South Africa. Many dignitaries and political figures from several countries had attended the inauguration ceremony that took place in the Union Buildings Amphitheatre in Pretoria. In his speech, Mandela addressed all dignitaries respectfully and assured his fellow countrymen that his country would never experience similar suppression by one group over another. While owing as the first black president, he established democracy in the country and said there would be no discrimination of people irrespective of caste, color, creed, or race. He assured that the government would always treat all the people of the country with due respect and equality. The lovely day of inauguration was symbolic for Mandela as the South African people sang 2 national anthems. The Vision of Whites sang Nkosi Sikelel iAfrika, and the blacks sang Die Stem, the old anthem of a republic. All these events reminded Mandela how the black-skinned people were exploited by the white people earlier. He deeply felt the pain of his race and said that this type of suppression and racial domination of the white-skinned people against the dark-skinned people on their own land gave rise to one of the harshest and most inhuman societies the world had ever seen or known. He strongly believed that no person is born to hate the other person on the basis of skin color, background, or religion. People must learn to hate initially, because if they learn to hate, they can be taught to love as well, as love comes more naturally to humans than hate. He also mentioned how a person becomes brave, not because he does not feel afraid, but because he knows how to conquer his fears. Furthermore, Mandela stated that every man in life has 2 major obligations. The first one being towards his family, that is, parents, wife, and children, and the second obligation towards his motherland, countrymen, and his community. Everyone is able to fulfill those obligations according to his own interests and inclinations. However, it was difficult to fulfill both these obligations as a black man in a country like South Africa before the democratic wave took over the nation by storm. When Mandela became an adult, he realized that freedom was merely an illusion and temporary in nature for the black-skinned people of his country. He felt that they were treated as slaves of exploitation, and all the people of his race were treated unfairly by the white-skinned people. According to Mandela, freedom is indivisible for all, but the people of his color and race were bound in chains of oppression and tyranny. He knew that the oppressor must be liberated just like the oppressed, because a person who snatches another's freedom is also a prisoner of similar oppression. Thus, the oppressor is not free too and feels shackled in the chains of oppression himself. Now we'll discuss the main points of this lesson. Nelson Mandela swears in as the first black president of South Africa on 10th May 1994. At the time of his swearing, two national anthems were sung. He wished that freedom in Africa should reign. The swearing-in ceremony took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheater in Pretoria. He addressed the rainbow gathering with a jest, telling that never, never, and never again should it be that beautiful land would experience the oppression of one by another. The army officials who could have caught and put him in jail before were saluting him to pay respect to the newly born democracy. He recalls back the history and pays homage to the national martyrs who sacrificed their lives for the sake of their motherland. He tells about the martyrs were the men of extraordinary courage and wisdom and generosity. That's why he pays homage to the national martyrs who sacrificed their lives for the sake of their motherland. The country of South Africa is rich in minerals and gems, but the greatest wealth of country is its people. He tells no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. If people learn to hate, they can be taught to love too. He talks that man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never exhausted. He talks about the twin obligations, obligation towards his family and obligation towards his nation. While discharging his duties, he found he was not free. Hence, he joined African National Congress and fought for the freedom of his country. He is well known about the fact that the oppressor must be liberated just as surely as the oppressed. The oppressor and oppressed alike are robbed of their humanity. So dear friends, if you have liked this video, please click on like, subscribe the channel and click on the bell icon to get more videos like this. Thank you very much for watching.